Hello aspirants, welcome to Introspection IS. In our ongoing series of prelims, PYQs, discussion on polity, we are going to begin a new topic today, that is schedule of constitutions. So kindly continue with us as we carefully analyze this key topic in Indian polity to support your preparations for the, for the upcoming examinations. So let's start discussions. So we are going to discuss questions in the PYQs from 2011 to 2024 from the topic schedule. So the very first questions was asked in 2024. The question is, let's start. So let's see the questions. The question says, the constitutions, that is 71st Amendment Act 1992, amends the 8th schedule to the constitutions to include which of the following language. So this is asking about an 8th schedule. So before answering this questions, we should understand one thing, that today's there are 12 schedule in constitutions, right? But originally, if you see, there are only 8 schedule. So the fourth schedule, that is 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th schedule of the constitutions added by subsequent amendments. Now, if we talk about the schedule, which schedule talks about which the things what is given in the schedule. So the first schedule is about territory of India. Second schedule is about emolument and salaries. Third schedule is about oath and affirmations. Fourth schedule is about representation of states into Rajya Sabha, representation of states into Council of State, that is Rajya Sabha. The fifth schedule talks about scheduled area and scheduled tribes. Sixth schedule is about scheduled area and scheduled tribes in fourth northeastern states. Seventh schedule is about list. Eighth schedule is about language. So these are the schedules which is originally present in the constitutions. So now the fourth schedule, that is ninth, which is about land acts, has been added by the first Constitutional Amendment Act. 10th schedule, it's about anti-defection law. It's been added by 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act. 11th schedule, it is about panchayat, been added by 73rd. And the 12th schedule, which is about municipality, which is added by 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. So these are the schedule of the constitutions with the different subject matter. Now the questions, if you come back to the questions, the question is about asking about the 8th schedule that talks about an language, and we know that there are 22 language in the 8th schedule, under 8 schedules, but this 22 language under the 8th schedule, now if we see about the 8th schedule, so if we see about the 8th schedule, so 8th schedule have total 22 language. Out of these, 14 were originally in the constitutions. Later, the 8 languages were added through the amendments into the schedule. And the question asks about the amendments. So it says that by the 71st Constitutional Amendment Act in 1992, which of the languages has been added to the 8th schedule? It is a Konkani, Manipuri, Nepali, Mathili. So the Mathili, the fourth one was added through the 92nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 2003. The rest were added by 71st first Constitution Amendment Act? So we can say that answer to this question is A, that is 1, 2 and 3. So to answer this type of questions, you need to have an actual idea. This is a very factual questions. You need to remember, you need to have an exact idea about the amendments, then only you can answer the questions. Or if you have, suppose if you have read about the recently 4 language added by the 92nd, then also you can answer the questions. Clear? So now if you see the explanations to these questions, if you see the explanation to the questions, so the explanation says the 8th schedule of the Indian constitutions deals with languages recognized by the Constitution of India. It lists official languages that the government can use for administrative, legislative and other officials purpose. Key provisions of the 8th schedule. So first is recognition of language. The 8th schedule originally listed 14 languages in 1950 when the constitution was commenced. Currently it includes 22 languages. So language included under the 8th schedule. So originally 14 language. These are Hindi, Bengali, Marathi, Telugu, Tamil, Urdu, Gujarati, Malayalam, Kannada, Oriya, Punjabi, Assamese, Sanskrit and Kashmiri. Later added Sindhi added to the constitutions by 21st Amendment Act 1967. The Konkani, Manipuri and Nepali added by 71st Amendment Act in 1992. Bodo, Dogri, Mathili and Santhali added by 92nd Amendment Act 2003. So these are the total languages under the 8th schedule. Now importance of what is an importance of 8th schedule? So it provides constitutional status to language. It enables the use of these languages for the official communications. It encourages development and promotions of regional languages. Is there any demand for more languages? Yes, there is a demand for more languages. The languages like Bhojpuri, Rajasthani, Tulu have been proposed for the inclusion, and there is a growing demand for expanding the list. Now let's see the constitutional provisions with respect to the 8th schedule. So the constitution provisions related to 8th schedule occurs in Article 344 Clause 1 and Article 351 of the constitutions. So 344 Clause 1 of the constitution is about the commission on official language. So it says that the president must constitute a commission after 5 years from the commencement of the constitutions and then every 10 years. So who is authorized to constitute? The president will constitute a commission on official language when he will after 5 years from commencement, and after every 10 years a commission will be constituted. Now if you see the composition, so composition of commission includes chairman and members representing languages in the 8th schedule. Its purpose is to recommend way to increase the use of Hindi for official purpose while considering the interest of non-Hindi speaking states. Clear? Then Article 351 talks about promotion of Hindi language. Union government has the duty to promote and develop Hindi as a language that expresses India's composite culture. Hindi should assimilate words and expressions from Hindustani, Sanskrit and other Indian language to enrich itself. Now, purpose of its schedule, it was originally meant to support the gradual adoption of Hindi for official purpose. The schedule also helps in development and recognitions of regional languages in India. The 8th schedule was intended to promote Hindi while respecting linguistic diversity. Article 344(1), Clause 1 and 351 focus on developing Hindi as a national medium of expressions, drawing from other language while ensuring inclusivity. Clear? So this is a question from the 8th schedule of we have discussed the very first questions. Now if we move to the next questions. So the next question was also asked in 2024. Now if you see the question, so it says that which one of the following statement is correct as per the Constitution of India. So we need to find the correct statement from the given 4 options. So first is interstate trade and commerce is a state subject under state list. Interstate migration is a state subject under state list. Interstate quarantine is a union subject under union list, and corporate tax is a state subject under state list. So basically this question is about the 7th schedule, right? and we know that the seventh schedule of the Constitution talks about list. It is a list which shows the division of power. Division of power. It talks about a division of power, and it is dealt under Article 246 of the Constitutions. Now, if you see this seventh schedule provide three types of list. One is union list, one is state list, and one is concurrent list. So these are the three lists provided by the seventh schedule. The union list comes under the sole or control of a parliament. So parliament is a sole authority to make laws with respect to the union list. So whatever matter comes under the union list is under the all India matters, which is concerning the all India, that will be covered under the union list, and it will be completely under the control of union list. For example, if you see that types of matters which comes under the union list is like you can say defense, citizenship. This is an importance of national importance, so it will come under the union list. State list contain the local important items under the state list, where the state legislature is sole authority to make laws on the subject matter in a normal circumstances. Concurrent list is a matter which is important for parliament plus local authority. Like so, because of this, it is said that the parliament plus state legislature are allowed to make laws with respect to the concurrent list. Okay. Now this is a seven list, just introduction to the seventh schedule of the constitutions. Now if you analyze this options, so and here to answer this questions we need to have exact knowledge related to which matter falls under which list. Or what you can do is you can use your own knowledge background to answer this question. So now how a knowledge background can be used under this? There is a many one can ask, sir, कैसे use कर सकते? See, the every statement start with the interstate, right? The first three start with the interstate. Now interstate means what? Interstate means a relation between two or more states, right? So a relation between two or more states. Right, this is what does it mean, right? Now, whenever the relations, like suppose the first one, if we see, so it says that is interstate trade and commerce. Now, interstate trade and commerce, it means trade and commerce happening between two or more states. It cannot be put under the state subject. It should not be given a state to regulate a law related to state subject, because more than one states are involved in this trade and commerce. If any trade or commerce is only concentrated into the territory of state, then the particular state will be given power to make laws related to that matter. But any trade and commerce that is including like transporting or materializing, all those between two or more states should not have been given the state to make law. Rather, it has been given to union to make law. So this interstate matter should come under the union list, not under the state subject. Clear? So on this logic, the first is incorrect and second is incorrect, because second is also said interstate migration is a state subject. No, interstate migration cannot be a state subject. On the logical ground, it would be an union subject. Now if you come to this, that interstate quarantine is a union subject under the union list, yes, we can say that this is still the logic. Yes, it is true, right? Now if you move to the another which says that a corporation tax is a state. Corporation tax is a state subject under the state list. No, it is incorrect. So corporation tax is not a state subject, right? This corporation tax under the direct tax, which is under the direct control of union, not an state subject. Clear? So this is also incorrect. So our answer to this question is C, that interstate quarantine is a union subject under the union list. Okay? So on this logic we can answer these questions. Now if you see the explanations to these questions, So interstate trade and commerce falls under entry 42 of the Union list in the 7th schedule of the Constitutions. The regulation of trade and commerce among different states is a responsibility of Union government. It is not an state government. The interstate migration and interstate movement of people is covered under 18. Entry 81 of the Union list, making it a Union subject. The Union government has authority over citizens' movement across the states, because migrations related to movement and citizenship is a single citizenship. So that is a subject matter of union. So that will be any regulations with respect to citizens will be given to union. On that logic also we can say that, right? Now next is interstate quarantine is explicitly mentioned under Article 81 of the Union list. The Union government is responsible for formulating laws and policies related to quarantine and disease control across state border. So this is an interstate quarantine is under the Union list. Corporation tax is listed under entry 85 of the Union list. The Union government has the power to levy and collect corporation tax across India. State have no power to impose or regulate corporation taxations. So this corporation taxation does not come under the state list. Clear? Now if you see about the 7th schedule, so 7th schedule of the Indian constitutions defines the distributions of power between the union, central and the state government. It contains the three lists: union list, state list and concurrent list. Union list is under the subject under the central government. State list subjects the control of under the state government, and concurrent list subjects shared by the both center and state government. Now if you see the union list power of a central government, so it contained 97 subject originally, now it has 100 subject after amendments. It includes matter of national importance that required uniform law, example defense, foreign affairs, atomic energy, railways, banking, communications and citizenships. Only parliament can make law on these subject matter. If you see the state list is a power of the state government. It contains 66 subject originally, now it has 61 subject after amendments. Include matters of local importance that states can manage independently like police, public health, agriculture, local government, land and liquor regulations. Only state legislature can make laws on these subject matters. The third is concurrent list, that is shared power. It contains 47 subjects originally, now it is 52 subjects after amendments. Both parliament and legislature can make laws on this subject like education, marriage, divorce, bankruptcy, criminal laws, forest and environment protections. If there is a conflict, central law prevails, talks under the Article 254 of the Constitution. Clear? So this is an explanation with respect to the question 2, which talks about 7th schedule. Clear? Now if you move to the next question, so the next question was asked in 2023. So let's see the questions. The question says, with reference to the scheduled area in India, consider the following statement, right? Now, as we have seen that when we have discussed the scheduled area, so scheduled area is covered under two schedule. One is 5th schedule that talks about a general schedule area into the all over the India, whereas a 6th schedule is a specific schedule provided to the 4 northeastern states. Clear? So let's see this related to that. It says that within a state, the notification of an area as scheduled area takes place through an order of president. Yes, it is a president who has been authorized to mark the scheduled area. The first is true. So only one, only two, all three or none. So none cannot be our answer. That is D cannot be the answer. Next is the largest administrative unit forming the scheduled area is the district, and the lowest is the cluster of village in the block. Now this is very confusing, so we can say that chalo, let's leave for a time this. Next, move to the next statement. So chief minister of the concerned states are required to submit annual report to the Union Home Ministry on administration of scheduled areas in the states. So basically this is talking about the who can report to the Union Home Ministry. So it is not chief minister, rather it is a governor, right? So third on this line we can say that it is incorrect. So C cannot be also our answer. Okay? Now we are left with the only 1 and 2. If 2 is correct, then we have the B as answer, our answer is a B, or if 2 is incorrect, then it is A. So let's analyze the B second also one time. It says that the largest administrative unit forming the scheduled area in the district, right? At largest administrative area forming in the district, and the lowest in the cluster is village in the block. So it is true that the lowest will be a village and the largest is a district in this also. So on this line it is true. So we can say the answer to this question is B. So why I have said that let's skip for the second for the time being, because in examination how you need to approach the question, that is my मेन पर्पस हियर टू शो यू हाउ यू कैन अप्रोच इन एन एग्जामिनेशन. ठीक है, इसलिए मैंने सेकंड को अभी स्किप कर दिया फॉर द टाइम बीइंग. नाउ after skipping this has been come that yes, at the lower level it is a village at the block, and at the highest is a district level. Clear? Now if we see the analyze of the questions, if we see the reasoning behind the questions, so article 244, which talks about administration of scheduled area and tribal areas, it provides special provisions for governance in these areas to protect the interest of scheduled tribes and ensure their socio-economic development. So Article 244 Clause 1 talks about applications of fifth schedule. So applies to scheduled areas and scheduled tribes in the state other than Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. This has been specially covered under sixth schedule. So the fifth schedule provides a framework for administrations and control of scheduled area through tribal advisory council and special regulations. The governor has the power to regulate land transfer and modify laws to protect the laws. So the fifth schedule talks about that it is a governor who can regulate the land transfer and modifies laws. Now Article 244 Clause B talks about the sixth schedule. So it applies to the administration's tribal areas in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. The sixth schedule provides for autonomous district council, ADCs, which have legislative, judicial and financial power to govern tribal regions. These council can make law and land, forest management, inheritance, village administration and social customs. So this is how the fifth schedule and sixth schedule makes laws. Now it says the governor of each state having a scheduled area therein shall annually or whenever so required by the president makes a report to the president regarding the administration of scheduled area in the state, and the executive power of union shall extended to the giving of directions to the states as to administration of said areas. So on this line we can say that third is incorrect. Now if we see the next explanation, so it says that the fifth schedule of the constitution deal with management and administration of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes where tribal groups predominate. So Article 244 Clause 1 provisions of scheduled areas shall apply to administrations and control of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes in any state other than Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. Declaration of scheduled area. So it is the President of India is empowered to declare an area as scheduled area. So on this line we can say that the first is correct, that President who notify or declare the scheduled area. He can direct that whole or any specific part of scheduled area shall cease to be a scheduled area. The president can increase or decrease the area of scheduled area in the state after consultation with governor of that state, and also alter its boundary lines, but only by the way of ratifications of boundaries. Executive power of state and center. So executive power of state extend to the scheduled area therein. So if they included, so state of executive power will be therein included, extended. Now as we know, the executive power of the state lies in the hand of governor. So governor of state, governor of each state having scheduled area shall make a report to the president regarding administration of scheduled areas in that state. The executive power of the center extend to giving direction to the state regarding administration of such area. So tribal advisory council, if you see, a tribal advisory council has to be established in each state having scheduled area to deal with the welfare and advancement of scheduled tribes in state. A similar council can be established in any state having scheduled tribes but not scheduled area if president directs. It consists of maximum 20 members. 3/4 of the members should be representative of scheduled tribes in the state legislative assembly. The governor may make rules regarding the number of member of council, the mode of their appointment and appointment of chairman of the council and of the officers and servant thereof, the conduct of its meeting and its procedure in general, all other incidental matters. Law applicable to the scheduled areas. So governor is empowered to direct that any particular act of parliament or the state legislature does not apply to the scheduled area or any parts or shall apply with a specific modifications. So the governor is empowered to make regulations for the peace and good governance of the scheduled area after consulting tribal advisory council. Such regulations may prohibit or restrict the transfer of land by or among members, restricting the transfer of the land or buy of the land by or among members of scheduled tribes in such areas, regulate the allotment of lands to member of scheduled tribes in such areas, regulate the carrying on a business as money lender by persons who lend money to members of the scheduled tribes in such areas. So this is protecting the land transfer also from tribals to non-tribals, tribals to non-tribals. Clear? So this is the uh, explanations with respect to the fifth and sixth schedule, whichever the question talks about. Clear? So this we can say that only the first and second statement given are correct, the third is incorrect. Okay? Now let's move to the next questions. Next question was asked in 2022. It says that with reference to anti-defection law. Anti-defection law means that is 10th schedule, which was included by the 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act, right? This was added by 52nd Constitutional Amendment Act in 1985. Okay. So it talks about anti-defection law. Let's see this. With reference to anti-defection law in India, consider the following statement. So the two statement is given. The first is the law specify that a nominated legislator cannot join any political party within 6 months of being appointed to the house. Can a nominated person can join? Yes, it can join. Is there any time limitation? Yes. So it says that it has to join if the nominated person wants to join any political party, that has to join within 6 months of his nominations or his appointment. If the nominated person joined after the 6 months of his nomination, his membership will be, or he will be disqualified to hold member. So the statement is incorrect because it said it cannot join. It can join within a period of 6 months. Beyond that period, it cannot join. So the first statement is incorrect. So we can say that the first A cannot be true and C cannot be true. Clear? Now if we say next, the law does not provide any time frame within which the presiding officer has to decide a defection case. Yes, it is true, and this we have seen. This we can say many a times, like recently this, if you see this question, this is related to a Maharashtra speaker where he had took around 6 to 8 months related to decision on a defection law or disqualification on the basis of 10th schedule. So yes, it is true, the law is not providing any time frame that within which time frame it can be decided to on the defection scale. So the second is true. This can be seen through the example of Maharashtra, where there was a debate or that has been challenged in a court also, that speaker is taking more time to decide on a matter of defections of disqualification on a basis of 10th schedule, because the law does not talks about anything about the time foundations. Clear? Now if you see the explanations to these questions, so it says that the 10th schedule of the Indian Constitution, also known as anti-defection law, was added by the 52nd Amendment Act 1985. It lays down provisions to prevent political defections by member of parliament and member of legislative assemblies to ensure political stability and prevent unethical party switching. Okay. Now, what are the rules? So the grounds for disqualification, that is defections given under the law, So a legislator may be an MP or MLA. An MP and MLA includes both elected plus nominated. Clear? Can be disqualified if first voluntary give up the membership of his or party. If any member MP or MLA has contested on any particular party membership and after getting elected, if he resign from his party, so his membership will be automatically, so he will be disqualified to hold the membership of the house. Second, votes against the party direction, that is whip, in the legislature without prior permissions. So if the party vote against the whip, or if he abstain from voting against the whip when there is a necessary, when there is a mandatory made by the whip to vote in the house, and if the party is abstain or voted against the whip, then also his membership will be lost. Abstain from voting against party directions, then also his membership can be lost. It says that now an independent member joins a political party after elections. So any member who contests elections independently and get elected, and after getting elections, if he joins any political party, his membership will be lost. Next is a nominated member joins a political party after 6 months of being nominated. So if a person joins any political party after the 6 month, not within a 6 month. So it says that if the nominated member joined a party within a period of 6 months, then his membership cannot be, then he is not disqualified to hold membership. But if he join after 6 months, then only he can be disqualified. So on this line, the first is incorrect. Now there are some exceptions to this. Now the exceptions is related to merger clause. So if at least 2/3 of the members of a party merge with another party, does not consider defections. Now the presiding officer role, the speaker of the Lok Sabha or the Legislative Assembly or chairman of Raj Sabha has the power to decide the disqualification case. 91st Amendment Act 2003 removed the provisions allowing bulk defections, 1/3 rule, and strengthened the 2/3 merger rule. Right? So by 2003, this rule of the 2/3 has been strengthened. The Supreme Court in Holohan case in 1992 ruled that speaker decisions on disqualification is subject to judicial review. So that can be challenged also. It is not a final discussions. Right? The 10th schedule of the Constitution does not specify a time limitation for the speaker or a chairman to decide on a defection case. Defection case have been delayed for months or even years. The Supreme Court in Kyoto Holhan versus Zahelu in 1992 ruled that the decision of the speaker can be subject to judicial review. In 2020, the Supreme Court suggested that the presiding officer should decide defection case within 3 months in normal circumstances, but this is not a legally binding time limit. Though this time limit has been provided by the Supreme Court, but it is not a binding on the presiding officers. Clear? So there is no time limitations mentioned in the law related to 10th schedule, what we can say that. Clear? So let's move to the next question. Next question was asked in 2022. Let's see, if says a particular area is brought under 5th schedule of the Constitution of India, which one of the following statement best reflect the consequence of it? So we know that the 5th schedule is related to administration of scheduled areas and tribal areas in particular state in a states other than 4 northeastern state that has been specially given under the 6th schedule. Clear? So now it says that if any area is brought under the scheduled area by the notification of president, what does it mean or best reflect, right? So what benefit it is going to avail by the scheduled area. The first says they should prevent the transfer of land of a tribal to non-tribal people. Yes, it is true. If any areas comes under the tribal area, scheduled area, so now there is transfer from land of a tribal population cannot be transferred to land. There is a security, right? There is, you can say that protections of their land. This is true. Does it a best descriptions, a best reflect? Let's move to the, for this, let's analyze the another options. They should create a local self-governing body in that area. No, it is not going to create local self-body creating areas in that. This is not a best consequences. They should convert that area into union territory. No, this is not that matter. It is not going to convert that area into the union territories. It is will be under the executive control of the states, but with a specific attentions. The state having such areas would be declared special category state. No, this is also not true. So it cannot be comes under the special category state. So answer, the best reflect answer to this question is the first, that the which would prevent the transfer of land of a tribal people to non-tribal peoples. If you see the explanations, so the fifth schedule of the constitution deals with the administrations and control of scheduled areas as well as scheduled tribes residing in any state other than the state of Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura and Mizoram. These states were covered under the separate schedule which is known as the sixth schedule. If a particular state is brought under the fifth schedule, it means that all the land in the scheduled area is presumed to have been Adivasi's land. Hence, not only should no land now pass into the hands of non-Adivasi, but any land presently owned by non-tribal should, if being transferred, come back to the hand of tribal. So if before declarations also, that will be revert back to the scheduled tribes, to the land. Clear? The fifth schedule provides special protections for tribal land to prevent alienation, selling or transfer of land to the non-tribal. Governor of the state with scheduled area have special power to regulate and restrict land transfer between the tribals and non-tribals. This is done to protect the rights of indigenous tribal communities and prevent land encroachment. So best consequences is that it is protecting the land from transferring or selling to the non-tribal people and it belongs to the Adivasis. Is it clear? Okay.